it just came to me right now. The reason why I think 2024 is my best year is because I literally thought to myself, what would my dream life be? What would I do if nobody cared? And I did exactly that. I would be a YouTuber, and I'd be ripped, and I'd have a hot girlfriend. That's what I want you to think about. Think about exactly what would you do if nobody cared, and what would you do if you could do anything? And that is exactly what will make 2025 your best year. I want to talk about my wealth, my health, my relationships, and my YouTube because that's honestly a big part of my 2024. We'll just get started straight into it. I quit my job of 3 years as a server. I was in the service industry. It was all I knew throughout high school. I made a ton of money through it. Serving is a really, really awesome job, but it honestly it scared me because I thought that all I could do was serve. I didn't think I knew anything else. A lot of my friends and my parents were like, you should keep serving throughout college because it's a safe, easy money job. And I really did want to. I was like, that's awesome. I had an amazing boss. She always cooked the best food and she was so lenient on me. Like, I always gave her too much crap. She was an amazing boss, minus some other things, but we're not going to talk about that because I don't want to, like, she was really an awesome boss. I felt bad quitting, but I had already learned everything I thought I could learn from that place. The whole reason why got into the service industry was because when I was younger, I was kind of awkward and very I guess rude in conversation. I was really bad at socializing. My social skills were zero. I remember my friend told me that he was embarrassed to go out in public with me one time. And I was just like really demoralizing. But instead of beating myself up over it, I'm like, I'm going to get a job where I'm forced to talk to people 24/7. And I did exactly that. And I do think I got a lot better at it. But after the 3 years, I felt like I had not mastered, but at least been proficient at people talking skills and serving people. And I didn't feel like there was a lot of room to grow. It was kind of a smaller business, so I wasn't going to get like any manager positions. That wasn't like a thing. So I really thought I'd maxed myself out. And so I'd saved up a good nest egg. I was like, all right, I got some money and I really wanted to do something different. And so I remember watching this video by a guy named Alex Hormozy. He was talking about a guy in the same situation, a younger man with $1,000. I have a little bit more than that, but the guy at $1,000, he was like, should I invest it in stocks in the S&P 500 or what? And Alex said that you should invest it in yourself. You should invest it in your money making abilities. And so I was like, okay, well, I saved up a bunch of money in stocks. That's what I'm used to doing. I was just like, let me put all this money in stocks. I think I saved up like 40 grand working out there. But eventually I'm like, okay, well, this is going to take a long time to become wealthy. So I actually decided, I was like, all right, we're going to do the S&P 500. So I invested in myself and my money making capabilities. I didn't really know what to do. So I asked around and some lady told me that, hey, there's a business training school up the street. I drove straight up there. I walked in. I'm like, hey, I want to like buy this. And it was the first thing I knew. I didn't do any research on it. Should have probably done that. But it turned out to be pretty legit. I think I spent like 5 grand there. It was, it was a lot of money, but they trained me over like a couple months. I got certification. But really what I paid for was the network of people I met. And I'll get over it because it definitely was worth it. So I met people to get my first sales job. I was sales canvassing, door to door knocking about selling roofs. And honestly, that was the hardest thing I'd ever done. So I think I knocked thousands of doors, at least 5,000 doors before I ever got a first commission. I knocked for a whole month. I documented it on my YouTube channel, but that was the roughest thing I'd ever done. I was making minimum wage the entire time that I was starting that. It was really scary because I was like, oh shoot, like, can I make money without serving? Like, do I know any other way to make money? But by the second month, I was getting really proficient at it. And because of my sales training, I was actually doubling what the other two people in my position were making. And I was bringing home a little bit more than I was bringing home when I was serving. And I think I was working less hours. I'm not really sure. I only worked like 2 hours a day because you can only door knock during a certain time frame. It was really nice. I ended up leaving that job for a couple of reasons, and I'm not going to touch on those anymore. But the one main big reason I left was because I got my real estate license. See, what happened was when I was in that sales training, I met this lady, and she was like, "Hey, Keanu, are you interested in real estate? Like, have you ever thought about it?" And for me, I was never interested, but I straight up lied to her face, because I had heard from this other lady. Her name was Layla Homerzi, and she said that you should always say yes to everything in your 20s so you can learn things and get yourself out of your comfort zone. And so I said yes. I was like, F it, yeah. So I shadowed her for a bit, and eventually I realized, wow, this is actually really fun. Like, this is so cool that, you get to work with homeowners because I already did that with roofing sales. And so I'm like, holy crap, like I could be making way more money because I don't know. In my roofing sales, I met a lot of guys and they weren't doing too well. Like, they didn't make a lot of money. Some of them did well for themselves, but they didn't really seem as happy as these real estate agents did. And I'm like, all right, let me go hop on that train. Would not recommend that, but actually for me, it worked out. So I invested another like 3 grand or something, maybe a little bit less than that, getting my real estate license. And so I did that about a month and a half ago, and now I'm licensed. So if you don't know, in real estate, you don't get paid until you close a deal. And so you might spend a bunch of time with the customer, and if they don't buy anything or buy a house, then you don't get paid at all. I can say very proudly that I have signed my first client within like a month and a half. And that's been really cool for me. I'm really proud of that because I did it before 2024. I was really worried because my savings has gone down a lot. But truthfully, the more I've invested in myself, the more I've become confident in my abilities in making money. I remember when I was scared that I was only going to be making $6 an hour plus tips, and now I'm comfortably doing sales, and I'm really proud of myself because that's another thing. I graduated community college, so there's my diploma. I'm officially a very, very smart person now. No, but in all seriousness, my income level did not go up at all from going to college. I spent a lot of money on textbooks. I was really lucky to get my tuition paid for. I only really went to college because my parents wanted me to go to college. And I don't know if I regret that yet. I'll let you know in the future if I regret that. But just because my college was free and paid for, I mean, I still spent a lot of time there. Just because something's free doesn't mean like you're not spending time towards it. But really, I remember thinking, what else am I going to do with my time? Like, I might as well get my college degree while I'm also fumbling around in my career trying different things out. Because I kept changing jobs and having to learn new skills and starting out like at the very bottom again. I did not hit my goal of $50,000 in stocks this by the end of 2024. I think we have around 46, which is really good, but I was kind of bummed out because I was kind of hoping to shoot farther. It's kind of like taking one step back and two steps forward. I mean, if this real estate thing takes off, I'll be making 100 grand a year, maybe less, maybe more. I don't know. But that would be enough to then start pushing more into stocks and real estate. I really want to get a rental property. That would be awesome. But that about sums it up for 2024. I spent most of my time trying to learn these new sales skills and didn't really make a ton of money. Moving on to the next part that made 2024 my best year, definitely my health. My health improved a lot. My mental health, my physical health. So I've been working out a lot more consistently now, almost every day, if not every day. And it's been a big game changer for me, especially because I've been going through a roller coaster of stuff with my work. That working out is like it's a big stress reliever for real. I started running again. I used to run cross country for 3 out of 4 years of high school. On my fourth year, I had to quit because I was just too stressed out with work and school, and I didn't even have time to run anymore. It made me not want to run anymore, is what I'm saying. And it was kind of scary for me to like not ever want to run again because running really, I think it saved my life in high school. I mean, if you've ever run like more than a mile or 5 miles, it's so relaxing. I think it releases the most endorphins out of any exercise, and it really helps with mental clarity. So if you've ever struggled with any of that, definitely give running a try. I would highly recommend it. But I was able to get back into it this year, and I started running a mile a day at least. I'm not really up to the 5-10 miles I was running before, but I think it is a big start or a big leap for me, and it's been really helpful. Another thing that's been really awesome about my working out is it's really balanced now. So I've been going to YMCA classes with my girlfriend. She loves the little weight classes, so we do those together. We've been working out together in the weights. So, I'm back up to lifting 125 for my reps. For benching, I weigh roughly 116 pounds depending on the day. And so being able to bench more than my body weight for reps, for me, that's very healthy. I know there are some people who are like, if you can't bench 225, you're a little girl, but that's what I bench. So, and I'm really happy that I'm back up there because I feel really healthy and strong when I can do that. I've also gotten really far in my calisthenics. I'm up to doing weighted pull-ups of 10 pounds for 10 reps. Overall, I just feel really balanced when it comes to working out and being healthy, and it's been really awesome. One thing I threw in my notes here is that I changed my face wash routine. So I stopped using cleanser. I used to use this cleanser the dermatologist recommended, and I used to put moisturizer on afterwards. I stopped doing that, because I used to have really bad cystic pimples, and I stopped doing that. I just every morning I wash my face with cold water, and every night I wash my face with cold water, and that's it. And my face healed up so much. If you're really struggling with acne and it's because you're using some product that the dermatologist gave you, maybe just stop putting products on your face and it might help. That's what helped me. Right now my face is a little breaking out because I ate a bunch of sweets for the holidays, and I did notice that my acne kind of came back. But if that's something that you struggle with, cold water. For me, my face dried out a little bit, so I'd just touch up moisturizer where I needed it. But really, I just stopped putting chemicals on my face, and it did wonders for my skin. I also got silk pillowcases. Those kind of helped. Not really. The most thing that helps is not eating sugar, lots of water, and just not putting chemicals on your face, surprisingly. I mean, I feel like it's common sense, but for the longest time, I'd do my little face routine, and then I'd break out, and I'd be like, and then I'd put a pimple patch on it, and I'd get all like self-conscious. I feel way more confident just putting cold water on my face, and it's helped me out a lot. Oh my god! So I don't know if you've watched my older videos, but my face looked a lot different, and that is because I had a rhinoplasty. I had what is called a nose job in layman's terms, and basically what it was for is to fix my deviated septum. So I can't breathe very well, and if you hear me breathe, like it just sounds awful, and I just can't breathe out of my nose very well. So they went in and tried to do a deviated septum. I've had like 14 surgeries, and so this was nothing for me. I'm like, all right, let's get it over with. And they tried to fix it, and it didn't work. But what they also did was cosmetic touch-ups, and so it kind of made my nose a little bit like skinnier, I guess. It was weird because a lot of people noticed this about me. They were like, "Oh my god, did your face change? Like your nose looks good or something." I didn't notice a big difference. Actually, when I got the thing done and I noticed that the rhinoplasty had failed, it kind of pushed my nose to one side a little bit. I almost thought it looked worse just because I wasn't used to how I looked, and it kind of hurt my confidence for a while. Not only that, but I was missing a tooth for a while, and I had another surgery to get that implanted. So now I have my full set of teeth, which is pretty cool. And that really helped my confidence. I noticed because when I had my tooth missing, I would like talk like this and I'd try to hide my tooth. But without my tooth or with my new tooth in there, I can be more enunciating and my mom can understand me better. And so she's deaf. So I have to communicate with her by making sure she can read my lips. And when I couldn't enunciate, it kind of hurt our relationship because we couldn't communicate very well. But anyways, it was a big bummer that my nose job failed. That sounds so dumb, but it failed basically. I mean, I'm happy with my face. I've never been too unhappy with it, but it is suck that I can't breathe very well. I'm still annoyed by that, and I could do it again, but it was not a fun surgery. If you've ever considered getting a nose job, would not recommend. They stick these two plastic sticks up your nose and you talk like this for a week and it freaking sucks. So wouldn't recommend that. But getting a tooth, if you are missing a tooth or if you had bad teeth, would recommend that. Really improved my confidence a bunch. 2024 was my best year for health. I was able to become more confident with my skin, washing it with cold water. I was able to become more confident with my running, so my mental health got better. Working out, I just feel stronger. I feel more healthy. Like I don't feel as weak, which is kind of weird. My reaction time is insane now. Like whenever something drops, I can almost catch it 100% of the time. Like whenever you work out, your reaction time goes up. That's one of the things I never expected. My smile getting better, that also helped my confidence and my mental health and physical health, whatever. It just made it everything better. And lastly, we renovated my house. And so changing up my room, I still live in my house that I grew up in, but just changing my room into a more adult looking setting, like just moving things around, it really helped me kind of like grow up, if you want to give it that way. It just helped me move on from some things. I trashed a bunch of stuff that I was holding on to, things that I didn't need to hold on to. Getting rid of like material things that are just trash and don't really mean anything. That really helped my mental health as well. Next up is relationships. So I really want to touch on this because my relationships really improved in 2024. I hope yours can too, and going on into 2025. For me, it was my girlfriend. I've been with my girlfriend for about 3 years now, and I'm very happy with her. I remember our second date, we went on a walk in a park, and there was like a town next to the park, and we talked for 8 hours straight. If you're looking to find love in 2025, look for someone who you can just talk to, who you enjoy talking to, because you're going to be around this person a lot. And I'm not saying that I'm the best person to give relationship advice, but I am very happy in my 3 year long relationship. We go on vacations, we look hot together, we work out. We work out together. That's another thing. Oh my God, if you want to improve, if you're in a relationship and you want to improve it, start working out with your partner. It is the most fun thing to do. Maybe sometimes you have to do it separately because you're not really in the mood to work out the same thing. But I mean, as long as you guys are both working out in general, that has really improved my relationship. My communication is improving every year. I'm not always the best at communicating. My girlfriend has her issues, but together we've been working on it a lot, and I've seen a lot of improvement, and I feel a lot better about it. I've been learning to budget for dates, and I know this is weird, but I set money aside to buy her flowers. It's something that's important to her, so I make sure I set money aside for it. She's really supportive of me. She's always been like, babe, you're working so hard. You're doing your goals right. You're working on your YouTube. You're working on getting your real estate license. Like, she's so supportive. That's another thing. If you're looking for a good relationship, find someone who's supportive of your stuff. If there's someone who's dragging you down, you got to drop them. I've dropped people just because they don't support me and my girlfriend does. And that's purely like, there's no other deeper reason. That's the reason why. Speaking of which, my guy friends and I, we've had a rough year, but honestly, my guy friends and I had better relationships than that too. I have a really good Asian friend, and he's really cool. He was a transfer student, and we hated each other at first. I was really mean to him for no reason, and this was before I had started working at the restaurant and learned social skills, so that was probably why. But somehow we ended up being best friends, and we're still friends. We were friends freshman year, and now we are still friends as I graduated college, which is super cool to see. I know a lot of people say that you're not friends with your high school friends. If you find a good friend, you will stay friends with them. I think so. I have, at least. There's this other guy friend that used to work at he used to work at the watch shop I was at, and he and I have become closer, and he stopped working there. He got a new job. So it's been weird because we used to talk a lot in person, and I haven't really seen him in person since. Oh, I saw him one time, and we were just hanging out, and he helped me change my oil. That's what it was. And we had a good time, and it was good to see him that he had moved on and, like, doing bigger and better things. And because he had always been super helpful, he had been like almost like a guide for me. Like whenever I was struggling, he was 25 and I was like 16 or whatever. So he was teaching me a lot of stuff that I just didn't know. And now that we are both 18 and, like, I've become more of a, I hope to say, stable minded adult and not just like a crazy teenager. He always used to tell me I had this teenage angst to me, and now I feel like I don't really have that anymore. And so we kind of communicate on like a more, like, a different level. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's been great. My guy friends and I have become closer. My girlfriend and I have become closer. It's been really awesome. Another relationship that got way closer is my parents. I still live at home. I'm 19 still, so being in college and living at home, like, and being a young adult, it sucks to live with your parents because they're like trying to hold on to you and be like, "Oh, we don't want you to leave." Actually, my parents have been doing a great job. They've like been like, "Oh, we want you to grow. Get out of our house." Or sometimes they'll be the opposite. They'll be like, "Get out of here. We don't want anything to do with you anymore." And that sucks too. But my parents have been great, and I'm very grateful for them. But we did struggle for a bit because I got super busy, and they kind of felt like I was living in their house rent free. So I decided to spend some more special time with them. We work out sometimes together. We go on walks. My parents and I like to watch movies, maybe once a week. And our relationship has grown a lot. We have Sunday breakfast every morning with my girlfriend, and that's super fun. And it just makes us all feel connected. And overall, my relationship with my parents has improved as I've improved my life. But it's really cool to see when you take care of yourself that other people attract you like magnets, and it's more of a stronger connection. I've seen that as I've improved myself as a person, that my parents and I have become closer as people as well. Oh God, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that is I've improved my relationship with God. And I'll spare you the details because I remember I used to work at this super Christian job, and all they would do is shove Christianity down your throat, and they'd be like, "Jesus this, Jesus that." And I love being Jesus. I love spreading the word, but I remember how frustrating that was. That got so annoying so quickly. And if you're not a religious guy, I'm not gonna say you have to be. I don't really care. But I will say for me, it really, really helped me improve my confidence in myself and my love for other people. All right, I'll leave it at that because I know I get it. I hate it when people shove down the religions. People who are like, you have to believe in this or you have to be okay with this. I hate that. So I'm not going to be like that. Let's move on. The last thing I want to talk about is YouTube. I love this thing. Oh my God. The fact that I can talk and just like document my life. That's what it started out was. I was like, let me document my life. Actually, I wanted to be a YouTuber for way longer than that. If you don't know, there is a YouTube out there that is my gaming channel. It is literally me making gaming videos when I was like 12 on my PS4. There's a little editing software you can use. If you find it, you find it, but it's out there. This channel used to have videos of me like way back in high school just talking to the camera. I left up one video. Every other video is private, but there is one video up. It's my oldest video. You can go search for it, but it's called Learn to Socialize, and it's literally me saying like, "Oh my God, I suck at socializing. Let me go do it more." I've been wanting to YouTube for a long time, and I never took it serious, or I never was good enough to actually make it into worth watching for anyone, for me, for anything. I've learned so much from YouTube. I've learned so many cool like techniques about editing, and I've learned how to manage people. Like I have an editor who's amazing, and I've learned how to communicate with them. And I haven't even talked about the watches yet. So basically, earlier this year, I don't know what got to me, but I eventually did it. I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna, pardon my language, but I was like, I'm gonna do this. And so I made a video. I was saying, hey, this is the only goal that matters for 2024. And it wasn't the only goal. But I basically said I wanted to make a YouTube channel. And I used to post every 2 weeks, but now I post every week. I've really committed to it more. I've been able to document my life through stories, but also been able to share watches with people. And for me, I'm not very good at sharing stories. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But for me, watches kind of help me share stories more organically, if that makes any sense. If I want to tell a story about me changing my oil for the first time and feeling super masculine because I can, take care of myself, it's kind of hard to say that without being weird. But if I say, hey guys, I wore my Rolex and I was changing my oil and my Rolex was being this handy tool, a lot more people are like, oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, like it just makes so much more sense to other people. But for me, being a little awkward, sharing my stories through watches has always been something that I've been so grateful to do. And somehow, like, one video took off and it got like 54 views. And I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of views. My first video on YouTube got 2 views. My second one got 6 views. And then my very third one, I got 56 views. And the feeling I got when I saw 56 people had saw something I posted on the internet was way, 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 way stronger than any view count I've seen so far. Right now, my highest view video is 22K views. It doesn't mean anything to me compared to the fact that I went from 2 views to 56 views. That was just the most amazing thing ever. And I got super, super excited and nerdy about it because I love sharing stories and I love sharing watches. And so to make a YouTube channel about both of those things is just super fun. My videos about me documenting my life just don't do as well because nobody cares about my life. Again, when I can kind of push my stories through the watches, they get a little bit more traction. I've met a lot of really cool creators. I've had some creators just be super supportive. Oh my God, Clicky Bezel, if you're watching this, man, you are awesome. He watched one of my other videos and he was just like, man, I've watched you grow. Like, good job. I'm like, yes, thank you. That's awesome. Some dude asked me if you want to do a collab. That was really cool. I haven't done it yet, but hopefully in 2025, I've gotten it done. Making YouTube videos about watches has pushed my watch hobby so much. So I've been into watches for approximately 3 years. So I'm 19, maybe when I was 16. When I was 16, I bought my first Rolex, my first automatic Seiko. Like, that was when I got into watches. And it didn't start until I was like 19, until I eventually was like, okay, I need to be an active part of this community. For me, I was kind of a bystander. I would just kind of watch YouTube, watch watches, buy them by myself, not really tell anyone about them, not really comment on other people's stuff, be so reserved. And I felt kind of lonely. And it was lonely because I wasn't really talking to other people who also enjoyed watches. And it's just like, why would I not share my love for it with other people who also like it? Why would I just hide that from them? I truly think that I really leveled up in this hobby when I started commenting on other people's stuff, when I started communicating with people about watches. God, I'm just rambling at this point, but I really do like YouTube. It's helped me learn so much about myself. I've learned so much about other people. And I've gotten so much better at skills, like just editing in general. Like, if you look at my first video edited and then to my last one, I think my last one was great. My full watch collection of 2024. I honestly think that was a beautiful video. It just came to me right now. The reason why I think 2024 is my best year is because I literally thought to myself, what would my dream life be? What would I do if nobody cared? And I did exactly that. I would be a YouTuber and I'd be really rich. And, eventually that ended up funneling down to real estate. And I thought those things myself, and I actually did it. And I'd be ripped, and I'd have a hot girlfriend, and I do have a hot girlfriend. I think I'm very, fit. Maybe I'm not to you, but I feel very healthy, and I literally did all those things. I told myself that that would be my dream. If I could be rich, healthy, wealthy, and have a hot girlfriend, I'd be happy. And I've found an amazing woman who's not only very, very pretty, but she's also very supportive. I don't know where you find these women. I just got lucky. Um, I did YouTube. I started my YouTube channel because that's what I told myself I would do if nobody cared or if I didn't care what anyone thought of me. That's what I would do, and so I've started it. That's what I want you to think about. Think about exactly what would you do if nobody cared, and what would you do if you could do anything, and that is exactly what will make 2025 your best year.